Coming to you from Strings and Things Studio in Ventura, California, I'm Katie.
I'm Anne.
And I'm Karin.
And this is the Strings Unraveled podcast. Hello, welcome. How's everybody doing today?
Welcome, everybody. Doing good.
Yeah. It actually rained here this week, which is awesome.
Oh, fantastic.
And like snow/hail sludge on the 101 freeway.
You guys had snow too? Wow, we had snow too.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, in Ventura proper, it was crazy. And there's beautiful snow on the mountains now, which won't last very long, but it's there now.
So that means it snowed. That means it snowed from Florida all the way across. Pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was exciting to see. Yeah, it's February now. Thank goodness, because I felt like January was never going to end. It was the longest month ever for some reason. I don't really know why. Yeah.
It had 659 days in it.
It felt like it for sure. Yeah, anyway, yeah, it's been a time. I'm tired, but you know, I think that's just par for the course of being an adult these days, right?
Yeah.
I saw somebody's reel today that was like, welcome to your 40s. I know that's not you yet, Katie, but when you wake up in the morning and you feel hungover, even though you had nothing to drink.
Yeah, I'm like, what did I do last night? Nothing. I didn't do anything. I stayed up a little bit too late and now I'm sleepy. But, you know, what are you going to do? If you are...
Keep on track.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? You got to keep going. If you need something to help you get a little bit more sleep or feel a little bit better and more focused during the day, you've heard us talk before about Magic Mind. You know we're big fans. Magic Mind makes a sort of a little mental performance shot that's, you know, like a little green juice shot. It's got lots of good things in it that are good for like time-released caffeine to give you energy throughout your day. A little bit less stress, you know, all of those good things that we love. They also now make a sleep elixir, which is awesome. It helps you fall asleep faster, get a deeper rest. And when you use the two of them together, it combines to help you have a better day and a better night, which is great. You know, you get good sleep and more energy throughout the day, which is awesome, which I know I could certainly use. Yeah, they want to focus on your mental wealth. So mental wealth is about investing in good habits today that will build your resilience for future challenges. So things like getting better sleep, diet, exercise, stress management. Magic Mind is here to help with some of those things. It'll give you more energy throughout your day so that you can get more done and help manage your stress levels and then get a good night's sleep at night. If you want to try Magic Mind, the mental performance shot and the sleep elixir, you can get a bundle deal right now, which is only good for I think a couple more days. You can get 45% off the Magic Mind bundle with our link, which is magicmind.com/stringsjan, and that will be in the podcast description. There's a little link you could click on. That's magicmind.com/stringsjan if you want to try Magic Mind for yourself. It's no risk. They'll give you 100% refund if you are not happy with it, which you probably will be. Ships internationally to over 65 countries. And if you don't want to have a subscription, but just try it out for yourself, I recommend the subscription. But you can also just get it in stores now, like Sprouts, HEB, and Erewhon if you're a fancy LA person who shops at Erewhon. But yeah, thank you to Magic Mind for sponsoring us again. We appreciate you. And you should check them out because we are big fans. Yeah, who wants to start with what they're working on today? Nobody wants to start.
Karin, what are you working on?
Well, you know how like people order Advents, you know, way earlier in the year. So I ordered. I was a participant in the Treehouse Knits Advent. They just call it Winter Solstice. And that yarn came, I want to say, just before Christmas. Like, it was running a little bit late because of life and everything. But I got like 7 full skeins, of which I'm partway through the second one. And if you did the full, the full skeins, not the mini skeins, you got like a free pattern. So I am working on the Adventurer sweater by Claire Jackson of Perfectly Knotted. And you can't really, it doesn't look like much now, but it starts with a cuff.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all like one color, and I just started fading it. It's a fade.
Well, that's pretty.
This doesn't really do it.
What's it called again?
The Adventurer sweater.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find a picture. Because I like that she put one in black and white, and she put one in color. You can do it all one color, or you can do it in multiple colors. Let me see. Where did I put my...
So it starts from a cuff? Later. Is it like a side to side?
It's a side to side sweater, and you goes cuff to cuff. The one thing I did differently was, instead of putting the increases on either edge, I decided to put them in the center because I just want like the look of a sleeve with that little detail going all the way up the shoulder. So you can see that.
Oh, okay, I got it.
It's a make one lifted increase right and left. And I like that she gives you, because some of the sizes you might increase on the right side or you might increase on the wrong side. Fortunately, mine are all even, so I can, the way it works out, I can do them all on the right side. But she gives you instructions for both. It's really well written. It has charts and then instructions and then charts for the next section. So you have like a little bit of a graph to plug in as you go. And she gives you blank places where you can write in your number. So you don't have to, once you get to that section, you just write your numbers within the, within the little lines.
Mm-hmm.
Then you don't have to look at the graph, the chart anymore. So you don't have to accidentally get to the wrong number.
That's nice.
Because that's happened.
Read the wrong line.
Read the wrong line. Yeah.
Yep.
So this is color number 2, and it's kind of a purpley gray. And then it goes into this color.
Mm-hmm. A little more gray.
And then this, a little more gray with a little bit of brown.
Uh-huh.
And then that little bit of, it's more lavender and gray, but with a little bit of brown. And then this drops the lavender and goes more purpley and brown and blue. And then this adapts the full
very pretty
brown. And then it goes from here to here.
Nice.
So if you can imagine,
Beautiful.
it goes
That's
from...
gonna get really rich.
Huh? Yeah, so one sleeve is going to be...
color saturation. Yeah.
So I think... Now, I've never had fault with Treehouse yarn before, but I don't know if she was in a rush. But... like when you're knitting and then you start getting the lines of dye marking your finger. Yeah, I have a little bit of one right now. See that?
Yeah.
And I only just started that when we sat down, so it's already putting dye on my hands. So I definitely will need to.
You might want to wash your other hands before you wind them. Wash them.
I should. That's a good idea.
Well, I mean,
because they're so saturated. I could do that.
I mean, what you should do and what you're going to do are two totally different things. And I will not judge because I'd be like, I should do that. And then I wouldn't do it.
Having had the heartbreak of having something totally mess up and not be twice in 2 different projects because I didn't do that. Because I'm going from this color to this color from end to end, I think I'm definitely going to do that.
It is a good idea.
I have a place where I can let them air dry. I gotta say, it was a toasty 48 today. Actually, it's crazy how you can adapt to. I like the 32 degree weather. Actually, I have all these great I have all these decades of sweaters, and I'm just living life in my sweater land.
Nice.
It's great. But so I'm working on the adventure sweater. And I finished. I've finished this part of the sleeve and part up to a certain point. It's one of those that is a little boxy, so I have more increases for the shoulder, but I've already cast on for the body, like the front and the back. And I'm a little concerned because wasn't for the size that I'm making. I shouldn't have as much yarn left over as I think I've got on that ball. So I'm hoping that's not going to bite me later, but we'll see. At least I've got it if I need to.
It's better to have extra yarn.
always better to have extra yarn. I won't have to worry
Well,
about
how many?
yarn
You have
chicken.
7?
I've got 7. There's
That's a lot of yarn for one sweater.
it is a lot of yarn. 7 full skeins. It's pretty boxy and it's DK, so it's not like
okay.
it's 246 yards per 100 grams. And this was the Traveling the World Advent in Dove DK. Lofoten. Where's Lofoten Islands? Because I am in love with this color.
I don't know.
So it's like scream me or not, or what?
I wish there was a tool where you could just ask a question.
If only we had information at the tip of our fingers. If I care.
Fingertips.
So it's funny. I took a knitting project with me this weekend. I did I spent a group of our people from our church went and they helped a food pantry down in downtown San Antonio, where we brought food to feed 250 people. But about 100 showed of homeless people. And it's really neat because they have, besides giving them food, we also make sandwiches so they will have something later. So they have a hot meal every Saturday night without fail for the last 16 years. Through COVID, through no matter what the weather is, rain, snow, not that they had snow much except this year, heat, they have, but they also have 2 big trucks where they separate, people can come and get clothes, they can go, they've got shoes, they've got everything. They had some EMTs. They did wellness checks. They had some barber chairs set up so people could get their haircut or a shave, or they could be groomed, all free of charge. It was really cool. So I brought all that to say I brought a knitting project because interacting with people is stressful for me. And but if I've got yarn in my hands, it's easier. And so I brought my Musselburgh. And it has a hat shape now, but you can tell I'm still at the beginning. I'm just going around and around and around. Like, but I was
walking. It starts not hat shaped.
Huh?
So it starts not hat shaped, and then it gets hat shaped, and then it gets like further and further away from hat shaped at some point.
You're like, what is this ridiculous shaped thing that I'm making?
So I had a lot of people commenting, "Hey, are you knitting and you're not even looking?" I go, "Yeah, that's fine." I just like, after I'd finished helping sort some of the clothes, then I was interacting with different people, and I'm like, well, they go, "What is that going to be?" I'm like, well, it's a hat, but it's a potato shaped hat where one side fits into the other. And everyone's like, "Oh, that's really cool. Do you know how to crochet? We want crochet teachers." So anyway,
so interesting.
So those are the things. Oh, and I am on the last sleeve. All I have on my stowaway is a second sleeve and weaving in ends and blocking.
Nice.
Because the collar's done. The pocket is done. Oop, yarn's running away from me. So
you didn't want to count that as a finished object in a minute?
No, I have a lot of sleeve left.
Okay.
But
I'm sorry, I caught on with the weaving in ends part.
Oh, when I get when the sleeve's done, I'll count that as a, done, and then the weaving of the ends gets to be the second part. But okay.
Can you flash us your sweater?
I am. As soon as I get it up. Ta-da!
Cute.
Oh wow!
Is that cool?
That is beautiful.
So here's the.
I mean, I know you picked your colors to be Christmassy, but you can wear that all year. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I thought I would do more with this gold, but it is such a strong color that I minimized it and I added a second green, because this thing that's supposed to be like Santa's belt, at least that's what it looks like to me. It looked very much that way when I had the yellow. I swapped out the yellow for a different green. So I've got 2 greens, a light and a dark, because otherwise it was pretty dark. I finished the duplicate stitch in the pocket.
Nice.
And I'm going to add duplicate stitch to this sleeve, but I'm going to wait till the other sleeve's done. But not bad. Look, that much in a day.
Yeah, that's a lot of knitting.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Is that a couple inches?
Yep. About 3.
Nice.
Normally I'm all about the cuff up and grafting method, but I will say with stranding, it is pretty rewarding. It goes faster doing this stranding motif when I'm decreasing. It's
Well,
like
yeah,
I get fewer and fewer
Yeah,
stitches.
fair.
I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm
that
almost
is
done.
nice.
Don't look on the inside because there's a ton of ends to weave in. But look, I mean,
Yeah, no. Nobody looks on the inside.
but the pocket is nice. I got this kangaroo pocket with the edging done.
How'd you feel about the flat stranding of the pocket?
I like it. I didn't mind it because it's not a big project. It's not a big part. And I mean, while I'm going around and around, it is kind of nice not to have the smaller and smaller circumference with having to change out my needle size. So anyway, not too bad. But it's nice having the collar done. I mean, the collar's done, the pocket's done, everything, and I'll still get to wear it while it's still cold. So that's my motivation.
That
I
is
was like,
nice.
oh man, it was 60 this. It is supposed to be in the 70s, but raining this week. And I'm not happy about that because I don't want to go back to, like, it felt like Florida a little bit this weekend. It wasn't hot, but the humidity, it was muggy. But we had to, something I'm not used to doing is having to have covers for my plants because the freezing temperatures, we had a high of 31 last week, with a low, and when the wind picks up, it says it's 31, but it feels like 17. And then when it was 20, it says it feels like 8. But we go walking in it, and it's not that bad.
20. 20 degrees.
Yeah, but when you're wearing a wool sweater and you have nice, thick, cushy socks, it's as long as you have something to cover your ears, it's not bad.
I was joking the other day about how it was like raining, and it rains so like seldomly, or at least this year it hasn't rained at all except for this weekend.
The first rain.
And how, like, as soon as it starts raining, I have this reaction to be like, did I leave all of my valuables outside in the rain? Like, are all of my important things outside? No, I think I'm fine. But like, it never rains, so I'm not used to it, and then I'm like, oh no, all of my things are getting wet. There's nothing important outside. It's fine.
But I get that.
You just like have to think for a solid second. You're like, no, okay, I think I'm good. Did I leave all the windows in my car open? I never roll them down that often, but maybe I did. I don't know.
We actually got a car cover because when we want to leave in the morning, and I thought, well, by 10 o'clock, it's not too bad. But there's ice on my windshield, and I have to scrape the ice off.
Yeah.
So, in fact, last week, they canceled school for a couple days because the buses don't run when the roads are that ice, because there's a lot of precipitation, and then it froze overnight. So then the streets, everything shuts down.
Yeah.
But I made sure we had soup for a couple days, and I made chili. It was all cozy. We just don't have a fireplace to make it perfect. But we put a fake one on the TV. Yeah, my youngest thinks that's lame, but it's cozy. It gives ambiance and atmosphere.
Yeah. Right.
What
I like the YouTube channels, YouTube music channels that have like the fire sound.
Yeah, that's what we do
when they're playing. But then they're also playing like classical music behind it.
I like
sometimes it's just the fire sounds.
I like the like wintry tavern like ones where it's like cozy background music. I put those on when I'm, doing other things.
In my office, basically from like October something through the new year. That's what we had going.
Oh, nice. Well, Anne, what are you working on?
I am being reasonable.
Okay.
I have made a lot of progress on the sweater I shared last month, which is the traveler's cardigan. So what's special about this cardigan is it's a nice gauge. It's 15 stitches to 4 inches, so it's zooming.
Nice.
But it has that, you start with the yoke and then you pick up over the shoulders. And because I'm striping, you can actually see the shape of the yoke.
I love that.
That's cool.
Really pretty. It has the button band on smaller needles as you go, which is something I've thought, which is actually why I wanted to try this cardigan, because I've thought about doing that a lot over the years. And it is exactly as annoying as you'd imagine to have
Yeah.
the size 6 needle and the size 8 needle on the body and the smaller needle just holding the few stitches that are the button band. But I think it looks nice.
So it's worth it.
I don't know about that yet.
If you use like a flexi flip or a single
I did
DPN, would that be less annoying?
No, the DPNs were very annoying.
Very annoying.
The 16-inch circular was good.
Good.
A 16-inch circular with point protectors on it was for the win. The other person making it, she's been using DPNs on either side. But I tried both ways, and the 16-inch circular was good. Then I started the Fireside cardigan. Also, these are 2 projects on size 8s, which are one is 15 stitches to 4 inches and the other 16 to 4 inches. So the Fireside sweater is an imitation from the sweater that Cameron Diaz wears in the holiday when she's in the little cottage. And it's actually, I think it was a knitty pattern originally. Maybe.
That sounds about right.
It's been around since that. When I like realized like, oh yeah, I've seen this, and oh yeah, I want that sweater. Oh yeah, I already have this queued up. It's been around for a long time, that sweater pattern. And for some reason it feels like it was a knitty pattern. But anyway, it's lots of cables.
Yeah.
So here's my cabling.
Ooh, I like it.
It does not, it's not, it's not a size inclusive pattern. It only goes up to size 42. But it was easy to squeeze in. I need 6 more inches, and it was easy to squeeze it in between the cables, and I think it's going to work out all right. I'm using Tweed Delight from Hobie, and I was going to be virtuous and use something from my stash. I have the creamy color with the neon tweed in it, but which is intended for another cabled sweater, which I'm not as excited about anymore. I might still come back to it, but I didn't actually technically have enough balls. So
you didn't have the balls.
I needed something.
You didn't have the balls for it.
Oops,
didn't have the balls for
Bummer.
it. Nope. And then I am working on a Musselburgh as well, but I have made 4 worsted or light worsted plain ones. So now I wanted to do something more interesting.
Yeah. So wow!
That's started awesome. With this. It's now. I've fallen in love with it, and it's now a discontinued yarn. It's a sparkly yarn from Loops and Threads that was their Soft and Shiny, I think is the name of that. But they're discontinuing that yarn brand, which is interesting because it's what kicked Karin, what is that? Karin Simply Soft out in favor of their brand. But now they're discontinuing this line and all together. So whatever. It's a black with a multicolor metallic thread that's yellow and turquoise and pink. And then I took the chart from the Wave sweater, which I think we all looked at one time when we were all like looking at what's hot on Ravelry. The sweater on Ravelry is like lilac with a kind of apple green for the Wave. And I saw this girl on Instagram do her sweater in black with hot pink, and I was like, oh yeah, I've got this hot pink that I'm going to do some kind of chart. I think I'll do that. But then I got thinking, when the brim is up, it gets to be quite phallic.
Oh yeah, you just get these little rounded.
So
yeah. Little loops, little loops.
Yeah. So I decided that the blue would be a little less obvious. I mean, it's still the same shape. Yeah, but just a little
less mindful
representation.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah. So and then I'm doing the zigzag chart from Missoni Accomplished or whatever that sweater's called, which someday I'll finish my sleeves on. And the brim is a solid of this really interesting yarn that's called Sequel. Seaqual. And I'm like, what is Sequel? It's 60% Sequel.
Oh.
It is plastic rescued from the ocean. So it's a polyester acrylic, but it's specifically rescued from the ocean and turned into recycled material for all kinds of
That's
Cool.
commercial applications.
Very
It's
cool.
usually used to as like Serta mattresses uses it as their mattress material.
How does it feel?
And then stripes for the other room. It's just feels kind of cottony, honestly. It is like a netting, almost like imagine a not coming up the word, but when the yarn is knitted. And then a cotton cord going through it. What is that called?
When it's like a tube that they like blast the fiber into.
Yeah, but this isn't blasted in. It's like around it.
Yeah.
So it's not fuzzy at all. But it feels like nice. It's just interesting.
That's cool.
I mean, all of these are acrylic.
Yeah.
So they're all getting along just fine together.
That is a fun hat.
So I'm excited.
Happy cousins.
Yes. I think I still want to do a fingering weight Musselburgh. What weight yarn are you doing yours in, Karin?
Rios.
Yes, that's your birth birth sign.
Yes, actually,
right?
that colorway was Capricorn.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm gonna do Musselburghs for everybody. Yeah, I'm not very far, and I did that. Yeah. I did not necessarily.
Not everybody.
I didn't necessarily do the sign color because just because it's their sign, it's not necessarily their color.
That's fair.
Choice.
Right.
I have a fingering weight.
It just happens that I like the brown for me.
I have a fingering weight. I have a fingering weight Musselburgh that I started, and it's my like D&D project for when I need to like pay attention, and like if I could feel that I'm not paying attention, I'm like, I'm gonna get my knitting out, and I'm doing it in Koigu. I'm sure I talked about it at some point, but it is taking forever. It's on size like 3 needles, I think, maybe 2s or 3s, I can't remember, but eventually someday I'll have a lovely hat.
I had for you.
Yeah.
See,
because I was going to do it on 2s, and then I'm like, why would I do it on 2s? That's sock fabric.
Yeah. No, I think I'm using a 3.
I want hat fabric. Yeah.
Yeah, I even bought one of those big skeins from January 1 of the that where it's like the solar system with stripes, because I thought that was so cool. When she was doing them, I'm like, oh, I'm on board. It just takes way too long. Actually, it's not January 1. Who is it?
It's
I knew I said it wrong, but I want to be corrected.
I think it's River Color Studios. I think it is. But January 1, no. But it's not January 1. But it's not January 1 all the time.
But she uses this yarn a lot. In fact, they have new colorways. She works in collaboration with whoever this is. I'll have to look them up.
Is it like Gauge Dye Works, like they do the stripes, or?
That's it. Gauge Dye Works.
Give me a gold star
for the win.
You get it.
Yeah, I have seen cool Musselburghs in that Gauge Dye Works yarn, and they are awesome. But yeah, it's another fingering weight hat that would take forever.
Yep,
I understand. It's going to make a fantastic hat.
But I repurposed that yarn because I knew that I love the yarn and I wanted to do the project. I just don't want to do it in fingering because I just don't have the attention span. Or the attention span of a turtle.
I have some quilting goals this year. I don't want to vocalize them, but I'm started with this.
Look at it! It's pretty.
So it's the yarn. The fabric is from poppy cotton, and the line is called Kitty Loves Candy.
Cute.
And the story
is
cute. That Kitty loves Candy, who is the witch. Aww. I don't know if you can see her cute little witchiness. And the fabric line is absolutely adorable. But it alternates these stars with pumpkins, and I have all my pumpkins finished.
I love that floral pumpkin.
And I have all the stars are like one of the points are all flying geese. So I have all the flying geese made, and I'm trimming them down and squaring them up, which takes forever.
That's the worst part.
But I'm a big fan of the no waste flying geese.
Same.
So I have another quilt that I want to do, and so I needed to figure out the math for bigger ones. So I took this fabric that's all been stuffed for Mirabella, and I think I'm going to make her like a reading pillow for her
cute.
birthday.
What pattern is the pumpkin quilt?
It's called autumnal. It's a free pattern, and it comes up like on like lots of this quilt's friendly to layer cakes kind of things. I don't remember who it's by. I think it's by a fabric company.
Cute.
But I'm hurting my brain a little bit because the next one I want to make is the actual pattern that's meant for this fabric line.
Oh, whoa.
But I'm going to make that out of stash stuff.
Okay.
So when I was shopping for the background fabrics, I kept like confusing myself which quilt was which, because I'm shopping for the non-fabric line for the fabric line.
Right.
Pattern.
The pattern
blah, blah, blah.
pictures the fabric you're using in a different quilt. Yeah.
Yes. That's what I'm trying to say.
I get it. That does sound confusing.
It hurts my brain. Yeah. But all the fabric is purchased, so no need to dwell on that problem anymore. So those are the things I am working on.
Nice.
Katie, what are you working on?
Well, you know what? Guess what, guys? I started a second Musselburgh, so I'm also working on a Musselburgh.
It's contagious.
Yeah,
it really is.
I'm getting on an airplane on Thursday, and I was like, what's going to be my travel project? A Musselburgh is like the perfect travel project. Perfect. And I could work on the one I already started, but it was more exciting to cast on another one.
Yes.
And I don't have it with me to show you, unfortunately, because I forgot it in my studio. But it is, I think the yarn...
Wait a minute. I think I can help you with that.
I don't know where in my studio it is. If I knew what to look for, I would tell you, but I don't know what I'm looking for. Actually, no, I do. If you open the door in my studio, there's a bag with a bunch of bugs on it, like a little zippered project bag with bugs all over it. I think it's in there. And if you can't find it, don't dig around, because I don't know where else it would be.
Yeah.
But I had two skeins of like this perfect combo of like a mohair and a single ply sock yarn that went together. They were like dyed the same color, and they're gorgeous. And I've been saving them in my stash for a minute.
Yes. Here's the bag. It was right in the doorway.
There you go. I forgot to take it home with me.
You have very reasonable needle size here. What is this? Like a
5s? Yeah.
3.5.
Yep. And the yarn is like, now I'm just trying to guess because I don't remember what the name of it. It's something people or fiber people or free fiber or.
I'm looking for ball. There's no ball band, so you'll have to pick it up.
But it's like a really pretty like brown with like these pops of beautiful colors in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
Big fan. And it's so I have a single ply like fingering weight and a mohair that matches that I put together that have been in my stash for a minute, and I was like, oh, this is going to be the perfect thing. Yeah. So I have another Musselburgh that I started, and then I have a crochet sweater that I'm working on, which I made lots and lots of progress on because I started this on Saturday? No, Friday? Maybe Friday. Hold on. I'm going to turn a light on so that you can see me better in my dark bedroom. So the yarn is Tayo from Noro, and it's a very basic V-neck pullover. So,
I like it.
Gosh.
I like it.
It is almost done. So this is the back.
And you started Saturday?
Yeah. There's the back. This is the front, which I
crochet
just
is fast. Candy.
I just started my ribbing on the bottom, which you can see there. It is. That's what I'm working on tonight.
Oh, I love it.
So it's all half double crochet. Like there's nothing fancy to it. It's just half double crochets. And the pattern is
lovely.
Really roughly I think it's called the Pembroke pullover, by Evelyn and Peter, I think is her username. It's a free crochet pullover.
Yeah, I know.
I'm kind of using it and kind of not because my gauge is different than hers, and you start at the bottom and you make the back, and then you start at the bottom and you make the front, you put them together. But then I decided I'm just going to like go over the shoulders instead. So it's all one piece. So it looks like a blanket with a big hole in it, but that's where my head goes.
I like it.
Yeah. And the yarn is, I already said, is Tayo. So it's all these pretty colors. So whoever donated a bunch of Tayo to the stash swap, thank you very much, because it's making a beautiful sweater.
Gorgeous.
Just something really quick and dirty. So those are basically the two things I'm working on. I'm working on the crochet sweater mostly. The Rue sweater that I started, which is like the color work one I talked about last month. I canceled that class because I didn't get I had one person signed up, so it wasn't a go. So I have that started, but I'm kind of daydreaming about using that yarn for another project, but I haven't quite decided yet. I want to do like a stripy cardigan, but like a 2-color stripe, but I need to think more about what pattern or whatever I want to use. But yeah, those are the two things I'm really working on right now.
Very disciplined. Look at us starting our years.
I know.
Right?
I'm kind of like, I wonder how fast I can make this crocheted sweater. We'll see. I got lots done today, and I got a lot done over the weekend, so it's been fun.
I mean, I think you're moving pretty fast, but the most important thing is, for me, I'm not trying to curse you with this, how long will I stay interested in this project?
That's why I'm working on it right now, because I'm interested right now, and if I can power through and get it done while I'm still focused, then hey, I'll have a sweater in a week or something. Although I won't be able to work on it because we are getting on an airplane, and I'm not taking this with me because it's huge. So, but hopefully when I get back, I'll still be interested in it.
Yeah.
Well, what you got? 1 day, 2 days,
something like that.
Finish the sleeves.
I'm going as fast as I can. I'll at least get the body done before I go.
It's only Monday. Yeah, it's only
Monday.
Monday.
I got 2 days.
Start on Saturday.
That's totally reasonable.
You have a sweater to wear on the plane.
Yeah, because it's not hot on airplanes. Right? Well, Karin, have you finished anything exciting?
Yes.
Ooh.
So wait, this is one side. This is a project a year in the making, because remember we got was it just last Christmas that we got?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the one side.
What is this that you're showing us?
This is called the Scorpion Raglan. I did change the ribbing because I didn't want to do the short row ribbing. Instead, I like the double slip stitch ribbing because it looks like knitted ribbing. See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's not.
Yeah, it does.
It's not knitting though, but it looks like knitting. So, but that was the one.
You know what I do? You know what I do on a crochet sweater when I want knitted looking stuff?
You knit it. You knit it. I know, but I was sticking to it.
I like that you stuck to the craft. Yeah.
Okay. And then this is the other side. I'm still getting used to these giant balloon. There is no decreasing until you get to the cuff, so they're giant balloon ones. But I love this, and so I had enough left over that I went and made a beanie from the same kind of pattern.
Cute.
See? So I have a coordinating because I still have a lot of yarn left. I could make a couple different beanies. See, I love this, how it's just like, got plenty. Beautiful. And this is with the Knit Picks palette held double. But those kits gave us a lot of yarn. Well, also, I over ordered the base yarn, which was not palette. It was some other. It was a DK weight yarn. Hawthorne, yeah. The speckle, because the kit came with blues and greens, and that had blues and greens in it. But let's see, I still have a lot of yarn. It's all falling out. I still have colors I didn't even use. So I think I will make one without the background color for my husband. And we could be coordinating. Where I can just switch off greens on one side, blues on the other. I have plenty.
Oh, that'll be pretty.
Yeah, so I finished that.
Nice.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that sweater is a feat.
I feel like, okay, so it took a while, but it's so pretty the way the colors, it was intended to be just a 2-color sweater, But why not fade if you can?
Mm-hmm.
If you got the yarn for it. She had the balls for it, so.
I have extra balls.
Enough to go around twice.
Cool. And what have you finished?
I have finished, I guess to follow Karen's terminology, a potato.
A potato.
I finished one potato, and by that I mean one new Musselburgh. So this one's mine. It's made of Va and Sagittarius, both Malabrigo
Is this
colors.
the one that's been on the head
Va
in the studio? Nice.
Yeah. Yep. So that is the thing I finished.
That's another accomplishment.
Which is not too
Those
shabby,
hats take forever.
400-ish yards. Question that I wanted to ask. So Karin did Jenny's surprise. No, she did Judy's Magic Cast On. And what did you do to start your Musselburgh?
I think I did the Judy's Magic Cast On. That's the one where you're like wrapping around the 2 needles, right? Yeah. That's what I did.
I am an Emily Oker Circular Beginning.
Which one?
And I think there's an Emily Oker Circular Beginning.
Oh, is that the one she recommends in the pattern?
And I think there's like...
Yeah.
But I think in the current version of the pattern, there's 3 suggestions.
Yeah, there's something about a belly button or something.
Have to take a closer look. Yeah, which I have a feeling is probably just a perversion of Emily Oker's Circular Beginning. But I'm going to look it up before I disparage entirely.
How does the Emily Oker's one work?
So it's like a magic ring, sort of, to start. So if you're a crocheter, that's easily familiar. And into the magic ring, you pull up one loop, and then you yarn over your hook, and you pull through that one loop on your hook.
Okay.
So it's like it's doing like a round and a half of knitting to start.
Okay.
Doesn't she show how to do it with a crochet hook? I thought I saw her do it like a crochet hook.
What you do.
Yeah.
You use a crochet hook. Except I have figured out how to do it, and I've taught it in the past how to do it with your knitting needle, because you can.
Yeah.
And sometimes knitters are more comfortable with it if you don't put a crochet hook in their hand.
Yeah, even if you think that's the easier way.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
That makes sense.
It's a scary tool to some.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I finished. What did I finish? So we are going to visit my grandmother for her birthday. So this is her 90th birthday. And I and myself and my mom worked together to make her a quilt for her birthday, because we're not supposed to bring presents, but it was like, well, we're gonna make her. I made her a photo.
Try to stop you.
We made a photo quilt. So I have pictures of all her kids and grandkids, and all of the family.
That's awesome.
In the center of the squares, and I would show it to you, but I have passed it off to my mom. I made the top, and she's turning it into the quilt. So I think she's working on the binding today. So I don't have pictures of it. All I have are pictures of the pictures that I printed out. But once it's finished, and it's given, I will be able to post a picture of it, because I don't know if she watches or pays attention to our social media account. So I'm going to assume she's not going to listen to this, but it should come out before her birthday. So I did the top, and I have a picture of my computer layout that I figured out of how I wanted to do it. So that's vaguely what it looks like. It's like a blue. Actually, this is the same fabric, Karin, as the zipper case that I made you.
Oh, I love it.
So that kind of green, beachy, floral, and then it's just framed squares. So I made the top, and then my mom quilted it, and she's putting the binding on. And so that I'm counting as a finished thing. And
I believe we all agreed that finished quilt tops are finished.
So I made a whole quilt top. And it's a lot of work to do the pictures, because they make pre-treated fabric sheets that you can send through your printer to print on. But number one, they're expensive. And number two, I hadn't used them before. So I stuck with the method that I have used that I know works, which is a product called oh shoot, I'm not going to be able to remember the name of it. I'll look it up. But basically it's like a solution that you soak your fabric in, and then you let it drip dry, air dry, and then you iron it onto freezer paper that you could send through the printer. So I did that, but it's a lot of steps. It's a lot more work than just, a regular quilt top. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it's done, and I hope that she likes it. There's lots of cute pictures of. There's a lot of new babies on that side of the family that we're going to go visit that I have not met yet. There's 2 new babies. No, there's 4 babies that I haven't met. So I'm excited to go meet them because I've seen lots of really cute pictures of them, but I have not met them in person. And then I taught a class for the puff stitch heart basket. And I've made 3 of them. So 2 of them are at the studio. I have one here. This is the actual like pink and red.
Oh,
yep,
how
see,
cute it is.
we have one with our plants in it. There's my little basket. So this is the medium size. The yarn is just loops and threads, charisma or whatever. Anne's holding up the single color one I made.
There's a treasure in this one. It has a yarn needle in there.
There's treasure in that one.
What yarn did you use on this gray one?
That's Woolies Thick and Quick in some colorway. I don't know. Yeah.
It looks like it would be quick. I mean, it's like 5 rows or something.
Yeah, I taught this class and it was a 3-hour class, and one of my students ended up making one and almost a second one before they left. Wow. So it is a very quick project. Comes in 3 sizes.
Very satisfying.
Yeah, this is the medium, and I made this one to put treats in for my Valentine for Valentine's Day. So we put some chocolate or something in there. Yeah, so I made a bunch of those, and that was fun. And I guess I'm just in a crochet mood lately because that's what I've been working on. Yeah, it's for being such a long month. I felt like I didn't have a lot of time. I don't know how that works,
right?
But
same.
Yeah. Well, anybody have anything that they want to talk about? They're excited about something you're obsessed with, Karin?
I actually finally have an obsession. I almost never have obsessions. This time I have an obsession. I'm obsessed with mending. I got this really fun kit from worthmending.com. And I decided I was going to do this because, and I'll show you the kit. It comes in this really handy little cloth pouch, and you get your choice of exterior and interior. Mm-hmm. I mean, she has different ones that she puts them in, and you keep all of your stuff in these pouches. There's 2 different sizes. There's a really big one with little things that help hold it. Like if you wanted to weave a bigger patch to go on it. I'll show you. Hold on. So
is it like a little loop?
Kind of. So I'll put this inside my sweater or shirt, whatever it is I'm mending. That's on the inside. And then this is on the outside, and it fits into there's these channels here, and it fits into the channel. And you see how they have these hooks. Mm-hmm. So you'll take they even give you this t-shirt thing that helps hold it all together. And there's even you'll put this it's just a little paper thing, but it helps. It's a guide. You'll put the top of your hole or whatever it is you're going to mend close to the top by the hooks. And then this is close to the bottom. And it helps you to keep things straight. And what happens is you'll attach your yarn from the side, and you'll come up. It'll go on the hook. It'll come down, and you'll do your warp. And then you just go back and forth, and it creates this little weave when you're doing your weft back and forth. So what happened was, remember I did that Astragal sweater, and she has these cute little tutorials. She's got stuff on YouTube as well, but this was fun. So I did Astragal, and then of course it was always too hot to wear it. But I finally went to wear it here, and there's a hole in it. A bug got to it. Mm-hmm. So I took some of that blue that I had left over, and it's like a 3-ply or 3 or 4-ply. So I just took a couple of the plies out, and I don't know if you can see that because it's really dark. But so I finished that. I cleaned up that hole, and that dark spot's just a dark spot. It's not a hole, I think, unless I get to maybe I get to mend something else. Let me see. I put it up to the light. Nope, not a hole. Somewhere where I had an increase. Cute. Anyway, so I did this one. And then I'm like, And I don't mind that that's the whole thing about visible mending. This is the back, but I don't even mind that it shows, right?
Yeah, it's
because
cute.
I like the idea that I'm preserving something that I really want. I'm not throwing something away, especially when you see how little some people have. And plus I put a lot of work into that. So why would I throw away something I worked so hard on and I didn't get a chance to really enjoy it? And then I had this t-shirt that, talk about mending. So this one was the one that had a stain on it. It was a solid color, and then I ice dyed it to cover up the stain. And then you know how t-shirts are, they get holes in them. And the first time they had little holes from wear, I just did a real quick darn. But this time I did a visible mending because I have lots of embroidery floss, right? So I took just this. I did. You can't really see it here. Let me see if I can get better in the corner. So there's actually 4 colors. So I just did 2 strands, one each of 2 different colors, and I actually did it this way, just because and this one it has a little bit more puckering. It wasn't as neat about it, but I still like it. It has a really. I was afraid that t-shirts are stretchy. I was worried that it wasn't going to have any stretch, but it's fine. Nice. It actually has a little bit of give, and then from the back side, it's just. Let me see if I can get it in the camera. See, there's not much to it, but everything around it is secure. But it has a nice little sheen. So now, I have this a container of projects that needed mending that I never thought I would get around to, and now I'm excited to just start going through it and just start fixing everything.
It's awesome.
And then there's a site called the Ministry of Mending, and they're in the UK, which right now the US dollar is not doing very well over there, and for various reasons, may not for a while, but they actually have little what's the word, like little cards with 10 yards each or 10 meters each of merino or cotton or alpaca, of where you can get color cards just of all these 30 to 40 different colors, just to have on hand for the next time you need mending. But I have yarn stash, and I have lots and lots of embroidery floss. So right now I'm just going to stick with that. But I'm looking at jeans and pants and other stuff I'm going to mend before it gets too outlandishly. I mean, my husband had a pair of pants that he didn't realize. He knew it had kind of a hole, but he just put his t-shirt on, and he was doing garage work. And then he went to the market and found that the entire crotch had split open. Oh. So he was just like, oh, I'm like, I can't fix that, hon.
That's a lot of mending.
Even if I did a visible mending of that, I don't know that that's where you want the vision to go.
Right. Everybody look right here. Yeah.
I mean, you could lean into it and make it real loose.
I'm like, you really should have told me when it was a lot smaller. That's just too much. But yeah. So it's a neat little kit. Again, this is from Worth. You can do just one or the other. I decided if I'm going to go for it, I'm going to go for it. They give you darning needles. They give you a sample. They give you some cotton for mending, but I don't always want everything to be that color. Nice. They have it in different. Let's see, darning yarn from Worth Mending. Yeah,
cool.
So anyway.
That looks fun.
So I'm kind of what else can I mend? What else can I fix? Because it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's like a tiny little
I never thought I'd say that about mending. Yeah. Tiny little weaving project.
I've seen lots of videos of those little weaving mending looms, and I have not bought one, but I think they're
I've gotten the ones that are round, but this is the first one I've seen that actually has it where it switches.
I've seen that.
And that's what this right here is what made it really fun. It's just how simple it was, just moving the hooks back and forth, and it makes the 2 yarns dominant or not, and then you can, because I was only going through 3 or 6 sets of warping of warp threads, so it wasn't even that big. But
Yeah.
so says it's made in Ontario, but Kitchener, Ontario. So that's unfortunate. But I mean, the gal. But
Have they thought about changing the name of their city?
Yeah, they should change the name of their city.
Have they thought about it? Did they know about it?
Maybe he was a Canadian. Was he British or Canadian?
Or maybe it's not that. He was British.
No,
but maybe it's not that Kitchener.
There are probably more than one.
That's true. Yeah, I'm sure he's not the only one of that name. But anyway, she's got some tutorials that made it really fun to watch, and then not World of Mending, Ministry of Mending has if you sign up for their website, she does different tutorials with different colors and different threads and different things for her mailing list that looks really fun. So anyway, mending is fun.
Well, what are you excited about, Anne?
I am obsessed with the show, which I think has been out for a little while because I had this very weird experience with it where I think that Hulu autoplayed the last episode for me one night, but I thought it was like the end of a movie.
Okay.
So the show that I am obsessed with right now is called Landman.
Oh, James is watching it.
Which
oh
my god. Oh, so I wonder what James thinks of it. Because I've seen some reels of people who actually do that job, and they're like, "That's not right."
James has only really told me about the first episode, and then he made me watch it so that he could point out all the things that are wrong and why the thing that happened, and I was like, "Cool, good to know."
Oh, but I want to know, why did that? I mean, other than the spark, why did it happen?
I mean, it's something about a valve being open, and then you would never hit it with like, aren't they using like a big giant like what do you call that? Pipe wrench. And then they're hitting the pipe wrench with the hammer.
Yeah, he wasn't using
right? Yeah, no.
Yeah. And that was kind of the point, is that they weren't following OSHA guidelines. And actually, like, there's a very subtle thing happening in that scene where the two younger guys, who aren't the new ones, are trying to tell him to stop. And the older guy just keeps doing it until the pump jack explodes and kills 3 people, like instantly fries them. So it's Billy Bob Thornton, and then a whole bunch of other great people. Ali Larter is stealing that show. It's so good. It's about a guy managing. Texas. Yeah, boo. But anyway, I started with Billy Bob Thornton. No, it's really good. It's really compelling. It's very interesting about this industry that fuels all the industries. And literally fuels all of them. And it's based in Texas. It's based in Midland, Texas, and a little bit in Odessa. And it's really, really, really well acted and really compelling.
So is it modern times?
Yeah, it's current.
Okay, current. Okay.
Like, they talk about the financial collapse of 2008 and how that affected their lives and their families. And it's peak Billy Bob Thornton. I do not know why he is so appealing.
He's very compelling.
He is very appealing.
He's a compelling actor. Because you're like, why do I like him? Like, why do I want to watch him? You know? Some people are like that.
Yes, but I do. So what I thought had happened when I watched this, when I woke up bleary-eyed in front of the TV, and this scene that wraps up the last episode of the first season, I thought it was like a part of Goliath I'd never seen, which is kind of a very similar character. Well, actually, not really similar character.
Same guy? Same actor?
It's more Billy Bob Thornton. But anyway, he's playing this lawyer who's taking on like crazy stuff happening in California. And one of the seasons is about like water being stolen in the Central Valley.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this whole like insane situation where this land heiress is stealing all this water and all these water rights to
that's not a lie.
Going. No,
that is what
the history of California.
No, one family now owns 90% of the water in California. It's crazy.
It's nuts. So one of the things so it had the same tone. So when I woke up all bleary-eyed and I watched this whole insane wrap up of season 1 of Landman, I thought it was part of Goliath. So here I am, like on the edge of my seat, like what's going to happen next? How are they going to do this? And then I'm like, I've seen all of this before, but I did not know that's what this was.
Well, there you go.
But it's really good. I think I'm gonna like turn right around and watch it all again, because I binged it real fast.
Nice. Yeah, James has been enjoying it. He was telling me about some scene where they're all getting coffee, and
oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, is it? And the young guy orders something, and they're like, "We only drink black coffee."
Yes.
He's like, "This is 100% what it's like in the oil field."
Yep, the guy, like the old guy, like just dumps it out. They buy it, they pay for it, and he takes it from him and he dumps it out the car door.
So mean.
It was great. So I was wondering, like, is this authentic of James' experience?
He would be the one to order like a vanilla latte or something in the line where everybody else is getting just regular black coffee, you know?
Oh, well then he's Billy Bob Thornton's son, who's like the skinny, lanky guy who seems soft but is really smart.
Yeah,
fits.
That sounds about right. Nice.
Anyway,
it's
good. You should watch it.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure I would. I feel like it would give me anxiety as the wife of somebody who works in that.
I was thinking about that when I was thinking of like, I wonder if James watches this. Katie might hit it.
I'm like, I don't need to know about all those things.
Oh, there's some bad, gnarly things that happen to people.
Yeah.
And then Anyway, that's my obsession currently.
Cool.
What are you obsessed with?
I am obsessed with this wonderful hand massager that somebody gave me for Christmas.
Oh, I haven't even tried.
I love this thing so much, and it's so good. Oh, it's so good. No, you got to use it. It's great. It scares the absolute bejesus out of my cat, so I can't use it if she's in the same room. And she's always with us.
Karin,
I haven't tried.
You can have it as a cactus.
I have not tried it yet. Yeah. But I've had so much pain in the side of my hand, and I'm like, why am I not using the massager? I'm a little afraid of it. I'm a little, the little ever since the Dune reference, I'm a little afraid.
James and I do call it the gum javar, which is like the gum javar. I mean, technically that's the needle and not the box, but I'm like, it's the same thing.
After we talked about it last time, I'm like, I need to watch Dune, because also it's leaving Netflix at the end of January. So I was watching it, and that scene's early, and I was like, that's the needle, not the box.
But we still call it that.
Still. But the needle's in the box.
The needle is in his neck.
Oh.
We don't know what's in the box.
No, you're right.
Yeah. After you wrap up, you got to go watch it.
All right. No, I've seen Dune. I've seen all the Dunes. I'm caught up.
You just have to do your penance now.
Oh.
You have to go watch it.
Watch it or watch my hand go in.
Why don't you do both things?
Watch it at the same time
and watch Dune.
That's freaky.
Which is not a punishment. This is a
I know it's great. It's a good thing. Gifts are good.
It's also really nice if your hands are cold, because it's got a heat option, which I didn't realize until later.
Ooh.
But this thing's great. It will make your hands look like you touched like a cactus or something, or you have like some sort of disease, because there's these little like knobbies inside, and you are just like covered in red dots afterwards. They go away after like a half an hour, but
that's so good. Yeah,
but it feels great. I'm obsessed with it. I use it every day, honestly.
Wait, no. So Katie, do you put moisturizer on first? Does it help or no?
No,
not necessary. Okay.
No, it would just make the inside of it gross. No, it just mostly squeezes,
cool.
but it does make noise. So I feel a little bad, because I'm like, I want to use it while we're like chilling and watching TV, but it's like it has a substantial hum that my cat is afraid of. So I have to wait till she's not in the room, because I'm nice. Also, I got a new chair for Christmas, and it has like a massage feature, which is mostly just like vibrating, but it feels nice. Mm-hmm. My cat's also terrified of that, so I can't use that when she's in the room either, because she's a princess.
I was very happy because I got like the vacuum grooming kit for the dogs, and Doug hates vacuums like they're his mortal enemy. But it is quiet enough that he has let us groom
That's
him
good.
with it, and it cuts down so much on the flying fur. Karin, there's a rule about Dune though that I had to enforce at home that no one likes, which is I dozed off halfway through like the first half of rewatching. And so I started it over only because Netflix didn't remember where I left off.
Yeah.
And Marabella was very mad because she didn't want to watch it to begin with. And I said, well, if you don't finish it in one sitting, you have to start at the beginning.
Oh, God. I would never I would watch the first
We'd never
hour
watch
of that movie 3 times before I gave up on that.
Gave up, yeah.
So we've been watching the show Community. Have you guys been watching that at all?
I have not watched it.
It's so freaking fun. Yeah, it's old, but it's new to us, right? So no, they have a recent. It's maybe not. It's about 10 years old. Anyway, so they're
gonna do a movie, I think. But.
So we were watching it, but my husband's been so tired. It's only a half hour long, maybe 40 minutes. Yep. We got to
a half hour show.
We kept having to stop because he kept falling asleep at the same spot. I'm okay the first time. I put up with the second time, but by the third one, I stopped. I'm like, no, I'm not going to watch this a fourth time. You're either we're going to stop right here, and we're not going to watch again until you are ready to sit and watch it through. So it's only 30 freaking minutes.
Because as soon as I'm warm after a long day at work, like as soon as I'm warm, I'm dozed off. I'm warm. My tummy's full.
I told him no. The cat. You can't let the cat rest on your lap while you're doing this because the both of you will fall asleep. So no cat cuddles while we're watching the show. Or the cat can cuddle me because I'll be awake.
I mean, you're the warden on this.
Well, I don't want to. When you have to watch a 30-minute show 4 times in a row, it's just not. I mean, I've heard all the jokes.
Yeah,
I can anticipate them, and they're no longer funny.
Also, I'm the one who dozes off, so I'm being a little defensive. I think I feel a little targeted. Sorry.
James and I were watching something the other night, and I can't even remember what it was, but it wasn't that early or late. It was like 8:00 or something. I don't know. But then all of a sudden I woke up and it was like 10:30 and James was also asleep. So we both had fallen asleep at probably the exact same time. Otherwise we would have like woken each other up. But then I went to bed and then the next morning he was like, what did we watch last night? And I was like, well, I don't remember, but we both fell asleep. So it obviously wasn't that exciting. But that's, I guess, what it's like being almost 40.
Don't remember.
Yeah.
So Anne, just to make you feel better.
Yes.
It's not falling asleep is not the problem. It's when you've fallen asleep to the same thing 4 times.
I would not keep going back to that episode. I'd be like, if you want to watch it, that's up to you to catch up. We're moving on.
Yeah.
Not too nice.
So, and we already know that also if one of us assumes a certain position where we're laying down, we already know we're accepting that that person's going to fall asleep.
Yeah.
But we just so that's just how it goes.
Dante wanted to watch the show Arcane, which is an animated drama, and it's very good if you have not watched it. It's not like adult animation's not necessarily my cup of tea usually, but he was just really adamant. And when a 16-year-old wants to share something with you, you show up, right? So it was fantastic. If this was a month ago, that's what I would share as my obsession, because every once in a while I'm like, I just want to watch it.
I've only heard really great things about it, but I haven't watched it yet.
Dante was so militant with me. Like, any dozing off, Mom, wake up.
Yep.
So he didn't even give me like second chances. It was just like, peel your eyes open and you stay awake for at least one episode.
Dante is 16.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That he is.
Wow. Well, it happens, but wow.
Yep.
Well, I think
that's fine. That just means we've been friends a long time.
Yeah, we have known each other a long time.
I like it.
Yep. Ditto.
Well, I think that wraps it up for us today, guys. We're gonna
it's a good start to the first year.
Huh? Oh yeah.
It's a good start to the beginning of the year.
we're going to turn off our microphones and then turn them right back on so we can record a little bonus episode for our Patreon. So if you want to get more from us or hear us chat about who knows what, all kinds of different things. Last month we opened Christmas presents. That was fun. Check out our Patreon, which is patreon.com/stringsunraveled. And thank you very much to Magic Mind for sponsoring our podcast. We appreciate you. Yeah, I think that's it for us. So we'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.